Hey y'all. Alright, welcome back to the 904 channel, the Maritime Industry 904. I'm your host Adrian, and this video that I made for you guys is my journey with getting my Tankerman PIC. So basically what happened was a short little rundown. I'm AB Unlimited. I have my Tankerman Assist. I took the class and I needed to get loads and discharges, so I created a video on the process, and I'm gonna go a little more in depth. So welcome. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for coming through. If y'all want to get at me, yeah man, let's get to it. All right, so let's go back to earlier this year, around May, around the summertime, late May. I took a Tankerman class, went to school, went to Blue Water Maritime, got my Tankerman endorsement, took the class, got the knowledge. Prior to that, I had already taken the class, and I made the mistake of letting it go. It expired, and it does expire in 5 years. So you got 5 years once you take that class to get 90 days on a tanker, and or get your 5 loads, 5 discharges. It's commencement of loading, right? Commencement of discharges. You gotta have 2 of those. Again, you need 2 commencement of loading. You need 2 commencement of discharge. So that's basically, you want to be there when it starts. You got to hook the hose up to the manifold, right? But we're going a little bit too far ahead. Let me slow down, okay? Because I'm moving fast. Let me tell you about the journey I took. So I had prior experiences, and again, yeah, I had let it expire, right? So I went ahead and I called the Coast Guard, and before it expired, I called them and I put my Tankerman Assist, because I had taken the class already. I called them and I put that on discontinuity. So if you have a license, an AB ticket, or anything like that, you're not going to sell for a while. So before it expires, what you want to do is you want to call the Coast Guard. You want to tell them you want to put it in continuity. I'm probably saying it wrong, but continuity. They'll know exactly what, you want to hold, you want to freeze your endorsements. You don't want to lose them. When they put it in that, they're going to it can go for a while. I don't know how long, but what it does is it does not let your endorsements and your license expire, okay? So you basically just freezing it, right? So I called the Coast Guard. I took my Tankerman Assist out of continuity. They notified me that I had needed to take a refresher class, so I went ahead and I did that. It cost like $900. I did it in Jacksonville, Florida. I went to Blue Water Maritime School. I'm giving y'all a plug. Blue Water. Finished the class. Class took like 5 days. Sent it into the Coast Guard. It took about 3 months, right at 90 days, for the Coast Guard to approve everything and to send me my Tankerman Assist back. All right. So, what is a Tankerman Assist, Adrian? I'm glad you asked, y'all. Well, Tankerman Assist is, you're going to be assisting the Tankerman PIC. What's a Tankerman PIC, eh? Glad you asked. The Tankerman PIC is the Tankerman person in charge. He's responsible for making sure no leaks. That's major right there. No leaks. You're going to be talking to the doc. You're going to talk to the captain. You're going to be facilitating everything. You're like the point guard. You know what I'm saying? You run the show. And so the Tankerman Assist, you assist the man that's running the show. Okay? You are basically, as a tanker assist, you're not qualified to facilitate things. You're just there to assist, right? But you know how to go turn the valve, you know where the ballast tanks are, you know the machinery, you know the terminology. You're capable enough to go and do whatever the tankerman asks you to do so he can get the loads and discharges done, right? Right. So I finally get it back. Takes 90 days. I get it back. I call around, call a couple of companies, and I tell them what I have. When you're dealing with non-union companies, they want you to have the PIC, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to bring you in as a AB or OS, right? And we'll go into that deeper. I'll mention that later. So they're going to bring you in as an AB, entry level, right? And you're going to have to get signed off, right? This is my loads and my discharges, right? So you're going to have to get signed off. They want to see that you're capable, right? So then with your Tankerman assist with the non-union companies, you do the loads and discharges, and they're going to be like, okay, he's good, he knows what he's doing. We're going to sign off everything, boom, 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 yeah, put that work in, and then you're going to submit it into the Coast Guard with a C level. I mean, not C, Jesus, with a C service, your C time, okay? And you got to go through HR to get that. This piece of paper that where they sign off at will go to the barge supervisor so he can sign off on it, right? So there's a process to this. It's pretty lengthy, right? All right, so I called around a few places, man, and I found this one company, and they brought me in on October 8th, right? Today is November 18th. I've been at work since then, so I don't even know how many days that is, but I stayed down with it. I committed it when they hired me. I had already committed that I'm not going home until I get all my loads and discharges. I'm just this is a different flex right here, man. It's just different, dog. Put that work in. But I said I wasn't gonna go home until I got it, and I got it. So to be honest, I even had to take a pay cut. So that's a lot of what the non-union do. You're gonna have to take a pay cut. They want to see how bad you want it, man. In my opinion, that's my opinion. The part where they want to see how bad you want it, as far as the pay goes, I think they do that. That's my opinion. But anyway, I knew that it was gonna be the right step for me in my career. So I just whatever, you know what I'm saying. I came in the door with whatever, and let's get it done. Went to Jersey, did the orientation. They hired me on. When I got hired on, I made it very clear to them immediately that I wanted to be, that I'm going to be a tankerman. I didn't ask for missions. I didn't ask for things. I told them what I want and I'm going to do. And what, you know, I made an arrangement. And it's, when I say make an arrangement, it's only so much you can do, but there's certain things you can do. And one particular thing that you can do is show initiative. That's what I did off the jump. When I went and met them in person, and I was doing the interview. Yeah, I mean, my intention is quite clear, and you know, my presentation, my mannerisms, all that was on tack. It was on. I was on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So after that, got me on with the company, and I started the journey. So that's it. Well, that's not it, but we're gonna go over some requirements that the Coast Guard. Okay, so Coast Guard requirements, right? For those of you who, now, you might not know, but the United States Coast Guard, they have specific regulations for tankermen. You know what I mean? So you're gonna need to complete the 5 loads and 5 discharges, like I said. You gotta have that to be fully certified. To be the PIC person in charge, gotta have that. So I had already did a few loads and discharges prior, so I didn't have to put in that much work. However, I learned something. The true definitions of discharges and for loads and discharges that my senior officer, he didn't know. Okay, so so I was determined to figure it out, and I wanted to gauge how much time I had on here. So when I was going to them for them to define what a load and a discharge is, they didn't know. So I took the initiative and I called the Coast Guard myself. I looked up online, I looked up the Coast Guard online, and I called them to verify these things, and they gave me the answer. So we'll go over that later on. I'm saving that because of, you know, that's a jewel right there. That's heavy, yo. But yeah, I stayed behind them. My senior officer informed him what was the definition, what is considered a load and a discharge, and we knocked it out. I knocked it out, rather. All right, so let's go over this letterhead, what this company deems their requirements, right? And I'm pretty sure it's the Coast Guard too, because the company rules and the Coast Guard rules have to line up, right? It's just going to be, the Coast Guard would deem it as illegal or not in their rules. So the company follows the Coast Guard rules. They trump, right? So boom, that's why I called the Coast Guard instead of going off of the senior officer word. I went ahead and called the Coast Guard because they matter, right? Boom. So here, from master, ship name, right? To United States Coast Guard Regional Exam Center, right? This is the letter I'm reading this. This is to certify that me has demonstrated to my satisfaction that she is fully capable of supervising transferring of liquid cargo class, and they put the class in there, right, and lower. This demonstration has included pre-transfer inspections, pre-transfer conferences, the proper execution of declaration of inspection, the DOI, connection of cargo hoses or loading arms, the proper lineup of the cargo pump for both loading and discharge, the start of liquid flow during loading, and the start of cargo pump and increase of pressure to normal discharge pressure. She has calculated the loading rate, monitored the loading and loading rate, topped off of cargo tanks during the loading and stripping of cargo tanks. This individual has ballast, deballast with the vessel segregated ballast system, and finally accomplished the disconnection of the hoses, the cargo hoses or loading arms, and the securing of the cargo system. So these are the things that you have to do, right? First thing, when you are the PIC person in charge, you're going to have to go have a pre-conference between the barge or the ship to the actual facility. They have a PIC as well. So there's a PIC on the barge or the tank, or the tanker, right, the ship, and there's one on the dock. And y'all have to have a conference. He has to go over, have you taken out the scuppers, put your scuppers in, you know, how much you discharging or how much you loading, all the safety stuff, nobody's smoking, it's a whole conference. It's a long list of things y'all gotta go over, right? So that's called a pre-transfer conference. Pre-transfer inspections, you just expecting the manifold, everything, make sure there ain't no leaks or anything like that, right, before you start anything. So, and that's all in the declaration of inspection, which is also called a DOI. Next thing you're gonna do after everybody, we on the same page, you gotta connect the cargo hoses or loading arms, right? A loading arm could be a hose. That's how you're gonna transfer the product from the barge or the vessel to the facility, or the facility to the barge or the tanker, right? The ship. See the proper lineup of the cargo pump for both loading and discharges. That's the same thing what I just said. The start of the liquid flow during loading and the start of the cargo pump and the increase of pressure to normal discharge pressure. So with that, what they're saying is it's called a displacement. So they kind of you open up your manifold, you do everything, and what you do is you give out like a sample, right, to make sure there's no leaks, the product's good, you know, the pressure is good. You're doing all that, right? So that's the flow of discharge pressure. Okay, so he or she has calculated the loading rate. It's a rate for that. You gotta do the loading rate, right? Monitor the loading rate. You gotta see if it's good. All right, that's a good flow for us, because sometimes the hoses could be big or small. You don't want too much pressure on those hoses because they'll bust. Alright, so topped off cargo tanks during loading. So you want to top it off, so you want to slow it down. You want to pinch it down. Let's see. When you're going from hose, they have numbers 1, 2, right? So you want to, if you're going, if you have both 1 and 2 open, right? So you about to get full on 2. Well, you might have 2 opened up at like 10 turns, right? You're getting a lot of flow into it, or flow out, whatever. You might have 1 just like 4, and as you about to top off, you want to start closing the 2. And then you want to open up 1 more. You have 5 turns, you want to open it up to 10 because you want the flow of it. You finna shut it off 2, and you want that flow to go to 1. But that, you know, it's just an example, right? You got to see it too. I'm just rambling at this point. Thanks y'all. Thanks anyway. So you got to do ballast, right, or deballast. That's bringing in water so you can the ship or the barge is balanced. Okay, so that is that, right? And you got to do all those things. So I completed all that, and that's what you're gonna have to do too if you want to be a tankerman. You want to definitely learn the terminology, learn what the valves is and ballast and things of that nature, man. One thing I learned though, tankermen have to be problem solvers. Like it's a lot of problem solving that has to be done. You have to really be able to think outside the box with certain things, and I learned a lot. That was cool. So let's talk about I had to commit. I committed to being this, and if you're going non-union, you're gonna have to be tankerman in training and an AB. A lot. You probably, even with a lot of companies, you're gonna have to be both tankerman and an AB. It's worth it. Okay. You get, you know, just you gotta pay your dues. You gotta pay your dues, and I paid my dues. Paying your dues consists of what I experienced was I came on as a tankerman trainer. So I didn't have to really do no sweeping and mopping and no sanitation. I did do it on the barge. I was definitely a do boy. I had to go get tools. I had to open up all the valves. I had to do it. I was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted me to be hands-on and learn this stuff. So like I had to do everything, right? So it's cool though. A lot of walking. Long hours, 12-hour days. Turn the valves. They get sticky because the valves are in the element. So you got salt water, so like they don't just spit open, you know, and it's a lot of turns, so like they be tight. You gotta put some muscle into it, man. I got big, swole on, but and one of the guys had to go home, but that was on the boat because it's an ATB. So I was working on a barge, and the guy went home. So what they did was, instead of sending somebody out to replace him, they had me. So I had to do both. I had to cook on the boat, I had to sweep, I had to sanitize the boat, strip, wax the floors on the boat, and then go outside and help the barge guys and learn the job, open up valves, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Man, I did this. I'm tired now, but man, it feels so much better now that I got it done. But this is something that you want to consider on your journey, right? Because that's how my journey was. And then your journey ain't gonna be no different. It's just gonna be a different crew, different mindset, and different days, different time, different era. But man, the work is work. You know, ain't no shortcuts. That was basically how things went. Yeah, just doing both jobs, man. So you just make sure you commit to it. Commit to it, stay down with it, go all the way through with it, man. Yeah, that's pretty much like my journey, man. I feel like I'm missing something, but if I did, I'll make another video, you know. I'm still doing consultation, especially about this, being a tankerman. I have some insight, and it's $20 for an hour, $50 for places to go. I can't guarantee you to get a job, but I can write out a whole step by step what to do, where to go, and I'm saying that, and there's a price to it, because I can sit down and we can take time and go over your situation. If you already, even if you're OS, right? I can give you a map. I'm charging for a map. I'm charging for the road to success. I'm charging for how not to waste time. It's precious out here. That time you can't get back, and I can definitely help you. I promise I can. I guarantee you I can give you something that'll help you get to the bag faster. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but I'm not just giving like a little bit of information. Like, I'm giving you a very wide scope on how to land, the lay of the land is. So again, I can be reached at peterlock80@gmail.com. That's Peter, PETERLOCK 80@gmail.com, because I'm a G. And then you can reach me on TikTok, L Captain 904, KEL Captain 904 on TikTok. My Instagram is cool with a K, KOOLAZZAP at Instagram.com, or whatever that shit is. And that's my journey. I appreciate y'all hanging out for me for 22 minutes. If you need to get at me. I got you. There is a real jewel I have for this Tankerman, right? I promise you, you won't regret. A lot of people don't even know it. My senior officer didn't know these things, and I had to call and get it, and I got it. So if you want to, if you're OS, you can be a Tankerman PIC, okay? If you're AB, you don't have to be AB Unlimited to be a Tankerman PIC. You can get your Tankerman Assist, okay? Go work on the ships. Get at me. Thank y'all again, man. Peace, man. Over and out, man.
Rocking and rolling today. Rocking and rolling today. Rocking and rolling.